Hey there, John here from DOCasts. Welcome to another episode. In this episode, we're going to be covering installing ClamAV and SpamAssasin on your DigitalOcean microserver. So we've got a 1 gigabyte RAM installation of DigitalOcean droplet for our Vista server here, our Vista CP server, and I'm logged in as root right now. Now, there is some documentation on this on the Vista CP website. So if you take a look at their documentation, you go to vistacp.com, take a look at their documentation on how to install it on the operating system that you're using. In this case, we're going to take a look at installing it on Ubuntu. So if you click on that, it'll take you to the commands here. Now, if you're not experienced with some of these commands, you won't know what they mean. So I'll go over explaining what exactly they are within this video so you know what you're doing to your system and how you're installing it and how you're getting it configured. Now keep in mind, if you have a server that is greater than 3 gigabytes of RAM, Vista CP during the installation process will have all of this installed for you. If you look right now, I'm on the DigitalOcean microserver, as Vista CP would call it. So I'm on 1 gigabyte of RAM. If you look right now and you go to Mail here, and you go to antivirus support and anti-spam support, it says yes. Now, that's not entirely true. Vista CP is ready to be hooked up with antivirus and anti-spam, but it's not installed. So how can I tell if ClamAV is installed or SpamAssasin is installed? Well, if I jump back into the shell program that I'm using, so you could be using PuTTY or something like that if you're on Windows, what I'll do is I'll clear up this screen here, and then I'll run clamd --version. And what that will do is it'll allow me to see if it's installed or not. And as you can see, right now it's not installed. So if I run apt-get install ClamAV daemon, it'll go ahead and it'll get it installed. Another way to check if it's installed is to check freshclam. So we can check that using freshclam --version. Something comes up, something doesn't come up. So you know right now it's not installed, and you know the reason why is because you have a microserver. So the first thing you want to do is you want to grab the ClamAV daemon, which runs an automatic scan for you, and you can get that using apt-get install ClamAV daemon. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just type in enter. And what this will do is it'll grab the ClamAV daemon package and it'll install it for you. So what we'll do is we'll just click on enter to get this installed. Yes, I do want to allocate the additional space for that. And we'll just wait a moment while this installs. Great, that installed quickly. I'll go ahead and I'll clear up the space here so we can move on to the next step, which would be to wget the configuration files for ClamD or the Clam daemon. I'm just going to actually just copy the line from the documentation for this one and paste it in here. So you may be wondering with this line, okay, what the heck does wget do? Well, wget is a non-interactive network downloader. So what that is it will go ahead and it'll download a file from the web. It supports things like HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP protocols, as well as some retrieval through proxies. Now, you can get more information on this if you just run man, so let me go ahead and cancel this, man wget, and you can go ahead and you get the documentation for this. If you press space, you'll go down a page and you can read through this. I'm going to go ahead and type Q to exit that, and I'll just go ahead and I'll paste in the wget command again, and we'll go ahead and get those configuration files. So what's going on here is it's grabbing the configuration file from this URL, and then what it's doing is it's placing it into the ClamAV configuration area. So if you moved into the etc/ClamAV directory, you'll be able to read through what's here. And you can do this from this directory as well if you just copy this here, and then you just vim into the configuration file that it downloaded and installed for you, and just press enter, and you can take a look at the configurations it has set for you here. Quit out of this, and I will clear up this as well so we can move to the next command here. So the next step, what we're going to be doing is using the G password, which is going to administer to our group etc file. And what this is going to do is it's going to edit it for the user ClamAV, and then it's going to apply changes to mail. So what we'll do is we'll click on enter, and then it added the user for ClamAV to group mail. And what we'll do is we'll do the same thing for Debian. So we'll copy that command in here and we'll paste it in. And we'll press on enter. Now it added the user for ClamAV to group Debian XM. Now what we'll do is we'll run freshclam And what this will do is it'll get the updated virus definitions for ClamAV. So we'll go ahead and click on enter, and that'll go ahead and it'll process those updates for you. You can see that ClamAV is outdated. We could uninstall ClamAV, run the apt-get update to update our apt-get packages, and then we could reinstall ClamAV, do fresh clam again, and then run through this process again as well, and you'll get rid of these warning signs. But right now, because it's just a minor release, it's not a big deal. But if we're looking at but in the future, if you look at a 0.98.1, and then the recommended version is maybe version 1 or version 0.99 or something like that, you may want to consider uninstalling it and then reinstalling it. But now that we went ahead and we added those users to that group for ClamAV, and we ran FreshClam to get the most updated virus definitions, we're just going to update the ClamAV daemon defaults, and we're going to use this command to do it, and we'll press enter. It says that the system start-stop links for the ClamAV daemon already exist. All right, no problem. Let's go ahead and let's restart this service, and we'll do that using service ClamAV daemon. It stops ClamAV daemon, and then it starts it up again. We'll see that it stopped and it started all okay, so no fail signs there. So it's good to go to move on to the next step, which would be installing SpamAssasin here. Now we're going to use the same apt-get to install SpamAssasin. So apt-get install SpamAssasin. If you are a non-root user, you may have to add sudo to the front of this. And what we'll do is we'll just hit enter. It'll install it for us. All right, so that went ahead and successfully installed. Let's go ahead and clear this up real quick. And then we will run the next command, which will go ahead and get those script links set up. That'll be the update. SpamAssasin defaults will go ahead, and the system start-stop links they already exist. So very cool. Now the next thing we want to do is just go ahead and use the stream editor, and that will go ahead and it'll make the necessary changes according to the script that we're going to be running through it. So let's go ahead, and then last but not least, let's restart the service. So we'll go ahead and service SpamAssasin restart. Daemon not running, nothing killed. All right, so let's see if we can start it up. Okay, it's already running. Well, let's restart it then. Restarting SpamD. Cool. So it restarted. Now let's go ahead and let's check to see what version we're running. I believe I misspelled that. Right, so SpamAssasin is running, and we have SpamAssasin version 3.4.0. So really cool. That is running. We'll clear this up. Actually, I'll grab this right here. We'll clear this up, and then we will run the processes to see if we can find SpamAssasin running. Great, it is running, and we will see if we can do the same thing for ClamAV. Great, that is running as well. So we have both of those services running. We'll go ahead and we will get the message transfer agent, or the MTA, which is XIM. XIM is a message transfer agent that was actually developed by the University of Cambridge and is used for Unix systems such as Ubuntu. And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and we'll get it all set up, all configured using the stream editor. And we do that using the sed command here. And we'll just go ahead and click on enter. That'll get that set up for us. And then we'll do it once more with the other template here. And then last but not least, we'll go ahead and we'll get XIM restarted. Stopping and restarting. We got the OK for both. Right on. So everything's moving forward very smoothly. Now we're going to go ahead and last but not least do the same thing for the configuration files for Vista CP using the stream editor here. Now we'll press enter for that to get that hooked up. And now for SpamAssasin, we will get that hooked up as well in the Vista configuration. Now, let's say you want to take a look at what this configuration looks like. We'll just copy the working directory here with the file, and we'll vim into that and just take a look at what's going on there. So we have the web system, Apache 2. The group here is www.data. The port number is 8080. Then we have the SSL port. The proxy system is Nginx, and so on and so forth. So you can take a look at the different services running here. Now, what we added was the antivirus system here, And we added the anti-spam system here. So very cool, just using those simple commands. Now exit Vim. And that's pretty much it. That's how you get SpamAssasin and ClamAV installed with Vista CP. Now, if you go into the Vista CP control panel, this and this being supported is now, yes, it is in fact supported, because now you have the background processes running for ClamAV and SpamAssasin, as you saw just up here using the process command, and we use grep to find those processes within our system. As mentioned in this episode, you can go to the documentation area and take a look at the configuration and log locations. Now this is for Real and CentOS, but if you take a look at the Debian and Ubuntu, you'll see that you have the ClamAV configuration files here and the SpamAssasin configuration files. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. If you have any feedback, do leave me some feedback in the feedback section. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.